I'm Johnny, and I am the lead singer and guitarist in this band, and this is...
Razorlight, the band. My name is Björn and I play guitar.
Yeah, of course it's a kick, it feels good, but it's not... It's not the reason you do it, do you know what I mean? Like, most of my favourite songs weren't #1 songs. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of songs that are... The best songs usually go to #3, I reckon. Oh, that was not our choice. That was for a journalistic piece. Personally, I've never done therapy in my life, and the band didn't go in for band therapy. The idea was our press agent came in and said, "I got a great idea. We're going to put you on the cover of the Observer Music Monthly. But to get on the cover of the Music Monthly, you're going to have to do this. And they're going to send a psychologist down. He did Metallica or something, and he's going to like do a pretend interview with you." And I was like, whatever the fuck. All right, send the guy down. We'll do an interview. You know, whatever. I don't know. I think it was one of those occasions where you had to sort of just basically tell him to get lost. You know, he was such a slimy little greaseball as well. That guy. Honestly, he came in, he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry I'm wearing a suit." It's like, as if I'm judging you on the fact you're wearing a fucking suit, you idiot. Imagine that, walking into a room and saying to somebody, "Oh, don't judge me on my appearance, I'm sorry I'm wearing a suit." As if as if you'd judge somebody on their appearance, you know what I mean? Like, "Oh, look, he's wearing a suit, that means he's square." It's 2006, you know what I mean? Fucking, anyway, you know what I mean? What have they got to say about us? You know what I mean? What have they got to say about us? It's like, okay, here's the greatest record around at the moment. Here's a fucking amazing live band. Everything's going fucking great, you know? You know what I mean? I don't go out. They don't get fucking pictures of me with fucking needles in my arms or shooting fucking blood on the walls and that kind of stuff. So what have they got? What have they got? Oh, look, they're fighting again. They're going to split up. Really, they're going to split up. Honestly, they've been saying that we're going to split up for about 3 years now. Oh, you should try trashing a hotel room in a Holiday Inn in America. It's impossible. Everything's rubber. It just bounces back off the walls. That's completely pointless. I mean, come on, you know. Yeah, I don't. There's not a lot of destruction goes on. We broke his guitar once by mistake. Stories in the press don't come from somewhere. But anyway, I don't really want to talk about the press. People keep asking me questions about things that I'm supposed to have done. You know, I don't know much about it. Yeah, I don't believe in slagging off other bands because I think it's bad karma, you know. No, I did about 2 years ago, yeah. I slagged off every band that was going. I took a cheap shot at every band that was going. I don't feel good about it. Yeah, I didn't think their music was very good, and that I don't think they were making it for the right reasons, you know. Which is fair enough. I'm not going to sit there and go, you know, your mum's a bitch. You know, if you've got something to say about a band, you should have something that is kind of a balanced thing to say about it. But I don't feel particularly good about saying that. You know, I think like you know, I don't think it was the cheapest shot of all time. I don't think it was just like going, "Oh, I hate them, they're crap," you know, which would be a cheap shot because I did actually have something to say about it, which you know what I mean, whatever it was. But yeah, I think that shit is bad karma because at the end of the day, it comes back to haunt you. You know. So when I first started doing all these interviews, I used to sit down and just go and slag off every band around. Yeah. And sort of 6 months later, every time you sit down, somebody says to you, "Go on, slag off a band," and you go, I'm not your fucking puppet. I'm not here to do that. Do you know what I mean? So you kind of stop doing that. So yeah, I mean, it's fair to say that yeah, I don't regret doing that because that's where I was at the time, but I can't be bothered with it now. I mean, no, the only thing I know about Noel is that he came to our gig at Ali Pali and stood at the side. We didn't invite him. He came down of his own accord, stood at the side, watched the whole gig, and came up to me afterwards and said, "That was fucking amazing. That is the only thing I've seen that makes me want to be in a band." So you know what I mean? I mean that like you said, I'm not. What are we talking about? Press? You know what I mean? You're asking me a question about something that nobody ever said. Jarvis has got his own life, you know. He's got his own thing, you know. He hasn't made a good record for 10 years, you know. He's got his own life, you know. I don't know what he's trying to achieve, but that was one of the ones where you just sort of went, "That doesn't make you look good," you know. All my life, watching